I don't know. Here, thank you.
It's what for, I know, I can do it.
I can grab black look.
Hi. Thanks, buddy.
I'm in here.
Oh, you gotta close the door with you on the outside, honey.
No, I'm in here with me in the inside and the door closed.
No, I need you to get out. I love you so much, and you gotta go. Come on. Harriet, start my class. Come on.
Who is he? Yeah, who is he? Wendy?
Okay. Okay, guys. How's everyone doing today? Let's see who's here. All right. So if you guys want feedback on your asana today, and your physical practice, you can turn on your video. And I probably won't call you out by name. I don't ever do that. Usually even in live classes, like in-person classes, but I always do customize our cues for what I can see you're doing. So you guys might know that my 4-month-old broke his leg. I took him to the doctor the next morning. He was not inconsolable, but he was upset, and I was like, let me just get him checked out. We didn't think there was anything wrong with his leg at first. Anyway, I brought him to the doctor, and while I was there, I noticed that he wasn't using his one leg. He wasn't putting any weight on it. So I told the doctor, and the doctor was like, oh, I don't know, I think he's fine, because he doesn't seem to be in any pain from it. So I took him to the chiropractor the next day, and the chiropractor also said, I think everything's fine. He doesn't seem to be in any pain. And I was like, I'm going to take him to the ortho. So I took him to the ortho, and they were like, I think everything's fine, but let's do an x-ray. They did a x-ray, and they found 2 fractures on his femur. Yep. Anyway, I was like, are you going to send this information to my normal doctor? And they were like, yes, we will. So I get a call from my doctor yesterday, from the boys' doctor yesterday. And the doctor is like, hey, so I got the scans back from the ortho, and I can't believe that I missed that. And basically spends the next 10 minutes talking to me about what happened, what he might have missed, what he might have done better. He's been doing this for 20 years. He's fantastic. He was like, I've talked to doctors who have more experience, and basically just apologized. Ended up calling me again to ask a few more questions later in the day. My point is, there might be some litigation in that, right, that I could do, because he admitted fault. Of course, I'm not doing that. I was so impressed. It is so impressive when a professional or just a human being can come to you and say, hey, I was wrong and I want to do better. It is like one of the most beautiful things to witness. So I just wanted to share that. It's something that I feel like I have learned that when I admit that I'm wrong, it also feels really good on my end to just say, hey, I'm letting go of this burden that I need to have all the answers and be right all the time. And I'm open to growing. So I don't know if anyone needed to hear that today, but it's okay to admit you're wrong. It's sometimes really great to admit that you're wrong. It leads to really great things happening, like a 5-star review on Google. All right, any requests for today? Anything you guys need, want, don't want? Neck and shoulders stretching? Okay. I can't hear you, Maureen. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, yelling at my kids.
Oh, okay.
I always like the hips.
Stretching, yes. And strengthening too, right? How are your inner thighs doing?
My left one was doing good for a while, but it's back to being achy again.
Okay.
I always like
And the
the
stretching
clamp.
usually helps it, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, great. Anyone else?
I always like the clams.
Yeah, let's do that. Great. All right.
I'm brand new to yoga, so it's been like a decade. I stopped before I had kids. My kids are 13 and
Okay.
almost 11, so I will probably fall down. Don't worry, I'll get back up. My balance is not that great, I'm finding.
I might fall down too. It's totally fine.
So that's all.
All right, guys. So let's get started today. If you would like to listen to any particular music, now is a great time to turn it on. And I'm going to mute everyone because always in this class, somebody comes on late and real loud. So everyone's going to be muted. If there's anything else you want to say, feel free to unmute yourself or to just put it in the chat box. Okay, so let's start off today. We've been on kind of a roll with our core work, so I think let's continue that. And then we'll get into some clamshells and some other stuff, and we'll just see where it leads us. I have a couple different directions I've been thinking about. So let's see if it feels good. Let's start with soles of the feet together, knees wide. And then we're gonna do this thing that maybe you remember from like elementary school, right? So you're gonna hold your ankles and just butterfly your knees. Just kind of flap them gently up and down. So this is, when we make movements through joints, it creates more synovial fluid so that our joints can move more smoothly. So we're gonna just get things moving, lubricated, kind of warms everything up so that the surfaces when they're cold are like really hard. And when they get warmed up, the surfaces in the joint get more elastic and sort of bouncy. Let's take just a few more breaths. And then as you're ready, you can relax your legs. The feet might come forward a little bit. And then we're just gonna fold forward. Drop your head down. And then inhale, lift up. We're gonna bring the hands back behind, bring the feet flat, lift the hips. So here you might feel a stretch in the fronts of the shoulders and into the biceps. And then engagement through the back of the body, mostly through the glutes. Exhale, release down, bring the soles of the feet together, fold forward. And then inhale, lift up, bring the arms back, feet flat, lift the hips. Really sorry, my feet are filthy because my flip-flop broke on my way back to my house today. I haven't had a chance to wash my feet yet. So please, I'm sorry. Don't judge me too harshly. Let's take one more breath and then release the hips down. This time legs are gonna go straight out. And instead of folding forward, you're gonna think about getting taller and then folding the hip points forward. So the head is gonna stay lifted. The tailbone is gonna reach back towards the wall or whatever's behind you. So with each inhale, you can think about getting longer from your tailbone to the crown of your head. And then exhale, send the tailbone back and hinge forward a little bit more. Let's take a few more breaths like that. Inhale, get longer. And then exhale, hinge a little bit more. Inhale, you're gonna lift up, bring your hands back behind you. You can do this with bent legs like we did before, or straight legs. Lift the hips. Good. One more breath. And then release the hips down. Let's cross right ankle over the left knee and then pull the left heel in until you feel a stretch in the right outer hip. You might also feel this a little bit in the low back on the right side, or maybe even in the middle. You can also do this laying down on your back. Now we're going to step the left foot so that it's aligned with the right knee. We're just going to kind of come down to an angle. And then we're going to drop both knees down. So yours might look really different. It might be more like this, which is also fine. We're just looking for a stretch in the hips. You can also kind of readjust or bring your right foot down in front of your left knee. You can stay lifted, or if you're not feeling as much sensation as you'd like, you can start to fold forward. And this time, if you'd like to, your head can drop down. Even if your chest is lifted, feel free to drop your head down and get that nice stretch in the traps. And your inhale, you can lift up. Extend both legs out in front. Lean back into your hands. And then we'll switch. Left ankle over the right knee, pulling the right heel in. Find your stretch. So again, the stretch should be in the left outer hip. You might feel it in the left inner thigh, in the left side of the low back, maybe in the center of the low back. If this has you feeling any pain at all in your joints, hip, knee, or ankle, then release out of it a little bit. And then we'll step the right foot maybe a little bit forward, now to the left side. Bring the knees down. Remember, this might look really different to how mine looks. And it might look really different from how your first side looked. Our bodies are very rarely symmetrical in flexibility. So find your positioning, and then you can drop your head down. You can fold forward. You can do both. Let's take one more breath. And then release your legs. Let's bring them wide. Maybe that just feels like enough of a stretch for you right there. We're gonna reach the right hand to the inside of the right leg, anywhere it reaches. Left arm comes up and over. If you feel your left hip is lifting way up off the ground, it's okay, but make sure you're finding a balance of where it feels comfortable and stable. Inhale back to center, left hand to the inside of the left leg, right arm reaches up and over. Inhale back up to center, and then fold forward. Inhale and lift up. You're gonna bring your legs out in front, bend your knees. We're gonna keep the heels down, lift the toes high. And then engage your core while you're really lifted. So we're gonna round the spine a little bit, like you're hunching over your keyboard. And then keep that little bit of rounding in the spine. Keep the belly engaged, start to lean back. Reach the arms forward for counterbalance. Now we're just gonna do some little shoulder taps and reaches. So let's see, on your inhale, tap your shoulder, left shoulder with your right hand. And then exhale, we're gonna reach and twist. Inhale, and then, sorry, so the twist is like really gentle. So we're gonna tap the left shoulder and then reach the hand out in front of the left hand, right hand out in front of the left hand, and then come back. Tap and reach, little twist, tap and reach. Tap and reach. Exhale as you reach. Inhale, tap. Exhale, reach. Let's do 3 more. Last one before we switch sides. Let's bring the hands crossed over the chest and just take some pulses here. And then back up to where you started. Right arm forward. Left hand is going to tap the right shoulder. And then on your exhale, reach and twist. Tap, reach and twist. Inhale and exhale. Find your rhythm. Three more. And then crossing the arms in front of your chest, let's find some little crunches, really small pulses. Two more. And then all the way up. Good. So legs can be anywhere, but we're going to find a little cow stretch. So lifting the chest, arching the back. Good. And then back to normal. Lower down onto your back. Good. Let's extend the legs up. Point the toes, flex the feet. Let's go back and forth, pointing and flexing. Find some stretch in the calves as you flex, and in the fronts of the ankles and the shins as you point. Keep the belly engaged as you move through this motion. Last time through. Now arms can go wherever you like. I like to cactus mine, so I'm not bringing any tension into the neck and shoulders. We're gonna bend the knees, but the knees are gonna stay right over your hips. So if you're doing this, that's okay if that's how you need to do it. But be aware, if your knees are further into the chest, you're not using the core as much. So try to keep them out over your hips. And then inhale, we're gonna tap the toe or the heel. Exhale back to that starting place. Inhale, tap. Exhale, pull back in. So knees can stay bent, or you can straighten out, or you can come somewhere in between. Inhale to extend out and tap. Exhale to pull back in. Now notice that when you pull back in, the knee that's lifting back up is going to want to come closer into the chest, just to make things a little easier. So if you can, if you want to, resist that urge. Let's take, instead of counting a number, let's do these for another minute. So it doesn't matter how fast you go, it's not going to make us done quicker. So see if you can go really slowly here. You might start to feel these into the back. That's okay, as long as the core is still engaged and holding you steady. We're about halfway through. Keep lifting your tailbone away from the ground. Just about 10 seconds. All right, let's come to stillness. That was a little bit more than a minute. Knees into your chest. Rock from side to side. When your low back and core feel relaxed, if that's possible for you today, then you're gonna grab the big toes or the insoles of your feet or the inner calves and find your happy baby. You can rock from side to side. Good, let's extend the legs up. Again, arms can be anywhere. If you want more support, hands can come alongside your hips or even under your hips. Otherwise, arms can go anywhere else you like. For this one, I like to have my hands under my head. On your exhale, you're gonna try to lift your legs and your hips straight up towards the ceiling. So this is gonna be a small movement. Inhale to release down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, release. Let's try for 8 more like that. Use your full exhale to lift. Good. Now we're gonna lift and hold. So on your next exhale, lift toes, lift hips. We're gonna hold for 5 breaths. And gently release down. Let's bring soles of the feet together, knees wide. Breathing deeply here. So notice if you're feeling some stretch in the lower belly, in the inner thighs. If this is uncomfortable in your knees, You can either bring your hands balled up into fists under your outer hips, or you can bring soles of the feet wide and knees together. I'm just going to take 2 more breaths, relaxing the legs and the hips, relaxing the core. And then you're going to roll over onto your left side, really either side, but I'm starting on my left side. So we're going to lift up like this. So you're going to bring your left hand under your left shoulder, and then your right heel over your left heel, right knee over your left knee. So it's a little bit like, if you remember, what's that movie? Little Mermaid. I feel like she takes this pose a lot on the beach. It's like a Little Mermaid stance. So from here, you can bring this right hand onto your hip. We're going to press the left knee down, lift the left hip, lift the right knee, and then exhale, come back down. 2, yes, exactly. 3, keep the belly strong. 4, so we're not arching through the low back. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. When we get to 10, we're going to hold in the lifted position. 10 and hold. Now, if it feels stable enough, you're going to extend your right leg straight out. Yes. Now bring heel to heel, knee to knee, lower down your hips. Let's come down to lay on the left side. Your head can rest on your left bicep. Knees are still bent on your inhale. Keeping the heels together, we're going to lift the right knee. Exhale to lower. So we're keeping the right hip in place over the left hip. Find your own rhythm here. I like to exhale to lift and inhale to lower, but you can reverse that if it feels better for you. We're going to do 5 more. And then we're going to lift the top leg. So the right leg is going to stay at the same angle of bend that it's at, but just lift. And again, the right hip is not going to move. It's not going to roll back. Good. 5 more. Keep the belly strong. Now on this last one, we're going to stay lifted. So hold in that lifted position. Squeeze the outer hip, squeeze the glute, squeeze the core. And then exhale, release down. You can roll over to the other side or lift up and come on to the other side. We're going to take that Little Mermaid stance, which if you haven't seen Little Mermaid in a while, it does not age well, you guys. A lot wrong with that movie by today's standards. Okay, so left hand on your hip. We're going to press into the right knee, and we're going to lift the left leg. Lower down. Exhale to lift. 3, 4, 5, 6, keep the belly strong. 7, 8. Remember on 10, we're going to hold. So this is the one we're going to hold on. Lift and hold. And then if it feels okay, and if you have the space, extend that left leg out. And then we'll release back down. Come to rest your head on your right bicep. Knees are gonna stay bent. We're gonna keep the heels together. Exhale and lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Good, 5 more. Last one. And then we're gonna lift the whole top leg. So make sure that that top hip isn't moving in space. Exhaling to lift up. We're gonna do 5 more. And then hold in that lifted position. Keep the belly strong. Squeeze the glutes. Squeeze the outer hip. And then release down. Let's roll onto the belly. Lift the chest coming into your Sphinx pose. So elbows are just under your shoulders. Upper arms are vertical. Relax your body from your rib cage down. And then press into your hands, your wrists, and your elbows. Drag your chest forward a little bit more. On your exhale, release down. Press back to your child's pose, knees together or apart. We're gonna take 5 breaths in child's pose, and then you're gonna come into your down dog when you're ready. So when you come into your down dog, you can take some breaths. You can move from side to side, you can bicycle your legs, or you can find stillness if that feels best. On your exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, look forward, engage the core, and then exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, find your half lift. So feet are at hip width distance, lifting up halfway until your torso is about parallel to the ground. Press into your heels, feel the glutes engage a little bit more. Maybe find a little bend in your knees, and then press your heels and your knees and your glutes all away from each other. Really get into the glute engagement. Engage the belly, reach the arms alongside the ears, and engage the back. Inhale, lift all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms reach forward. Exhale, sit back to your chair pose. So belly is going to be really engaged here. The chest is going to lift. The knees are going to stay back in between the ball of the foot and the heel. Keep sitting back. Keep lifting the chest. Now on your inhale, you're going to lift your left heel. Toes stay down. Exhale, left heel down. Inhale, right heel lifts, toes stay down. Exhale, heel down. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, sink down a little lower. Knees might come forward over the toes. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, release down. Inhale, step back to plank. So if your hips are lifted up high, that might just be where you are with your strength today. But if you can, try to lower your hips down in line with your shoulders and heels. Inhale, we're gonna just bend the right knee, lift the toes, point them towards the ceiling. And then exhale, release down. Inhale, lift the left leg, bend the knee, point the toes, and then release back down. On your exhale, lower to your belly. Inhale, we're gonna come into baby cobra. So tops of the feet press down until the knees lift. And then inhale to lift your head, your chest, your hands. Squeeze the elbows towards each other behind you. Exhale, release down. Inhale, press up to plank. You can use your knees or not. And then exhale, down dog. On your exhale, you're gonna tap your right knee to your right elbow. Inhale, extend the right leg back and up, three-legged dog. And then exhale, step the right foot to the right wrist. So right toes to the right wrist. Spin the left heel down. You wanna make sure that your right heel and your left heel are not on a tightrope together. You're gonna step the left foot out to the left side and then lift up to warrior one. So hips are turning forward. If your left hip won't get even with your right hip, that's okay. Just do your best. And you'll feel that stretch in the front of the left hip. Arms are gonna reach up, palms press, squeeze the belly, and then start to open and lift the chest up. So we're pressing into the heels of both feet so that the glutes on both sides are working. We're pressing the palms together, working the shoulders and the arms. Engagement all the way from the palms down to your shoulders. Exhale, clasp your hands at your low back, fold forward, lift your hands, drop your head. So you might feel a nice stretch through your back here. Keep pressing into the left heel, keep pulling the right hip back and the left hip forward. On your inhale, lift up to warrior one. Might be starting to feel this in the legs now. Inhale, open the arms wide. And then exhale, we're gonna come into eagle arms with the right arm under the left. So I'm gonna turn to you and just show it to you. You're gonna stay facing forward. So arms wide, right arm comes under the left arm and wraps around. Press the elbows forward and up. Press the palms away from the face. Squeeze the glutes. Keep pressing the elbows. On your inhale, unravel your arms, lift your arms up. And then exhale, keep the arms alongside your ears for as long as you can, hinge forward. Hands come down to the ground. Inhale, step back to plank. Good. Deep breath in. Exhale, slow lower down. Inhale to your baby cobra. Elbows are gonna reach for each other behind your back. Exhale, release. Inhale, press to plank. Exhale, down dog. Deep breath in. Full exhale out. On your exhale, left knee is gonna tap the left elbow. Inhale, extend back and up, three-legged dog. And then exhale, left foot behind the left wrist. Spin the right heel down, make sure you're not on a tightrope, and then lift up. Square the hips forward. Left hip pulls back, right hip pulls forward. Now arms reach up, palms press. Feel the arms working. Lift through the crown of the head, open the chest, press into your heels so glutes are engaged on both sides. On your exhale, clasp your hands at your low back the opposite way that you did before, and then hinge forward. Drop your head down. Press into both feet. Keep the right hip pulling forward towards the top of your mat. On your next inhale, slowly lifting back up. Arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Square the hips. Inhale, arms open wide. And then on your exhale, left arm is gonna come under the right arm, wrap them around. If it's not comfortable to bring your palms together, it might feel better to grab behind your shoulders. So let's press the elbows forward and down, and then palms away from your face, getting that stretch through the upper shoulders. And then if you want to, you can start to lift your elbows up, but you might get a better stretch with the elbows down. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Keep the arms alongside the ears as long as you can. Hinge forward. And then hands come down, step back to plank. Deep breath in. Full exhale out. Take 2 more like that. On your exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra, baby cobra, up dog, sphinx, anything that feels good here. Exhale, release. Inhale, press up to plank. Exhale, down dog. Deep breath in. Full exhale out. One more deep breath in. Exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release down. Inhale all the way up, arms alongside the ears. Exhale, hands to heart. Shift the weight into your left foot. And then lift the right knee. So we're balancing on one foot. As you do this, really pressing down into the left heel to engage the left glute. Now find a little bend in your left knee. Start to open the right knee out to the right side. Step back and open your hips to the right for warrior 2. Let's find as deep a stance as you can comfortably take. Well, not too comfortable. A little challenging. And then arms are going to reach out wide. Let's turn the palms up. Engage the belly. Lengthen the tailbone down, but we're not tucking it under our bodies. We're just lengthening it down. On your next exhale, left hand is going to reach forward and then down to the ground, onto a block, or forearm onto your thigh. Right arm reaches alongside your ear. Still lengthening the tailbone back towards your right heel. On your next inhale, lift back up, warrior two. Let's keep the front knee as it is. Reach up and back, stretching through the side body on the left side. On your exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Inhale, extend the left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Now we're gonna bend the left knee, open the hips to the left side. Get a stretch through the front of the left hip. Keep pressing your left shoulder down towards the ground so that your shoulders are even. And now let's release. Left foot down. Inhale forward to plank. One more deep breath in. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, we're gonna lift just the legs. Keep your forehead or your chin down, maybe practice the arms. Exhale, release the legs down. Inhale, press up to plank. Exhale, down dog. Bend your knees, look forward. On your next exhale, step or hop to the top. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms alongside your ears, lift all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart, shift the weight into your right foot, and we'll lift the left knee. So drive down through the right heel, so the right glute is working here. Find your stability. You might notice your core engaging here for a little bit more stability. And then we're gonna start to open left leg out, little bend in the right knee, so you can step back and find your warrior two. Make sure your heels are not in alignment. Find the deepest stance that you can stay in for a while. So glutes are engaging, tailbone is lengthening down, but we're not tucking the tailbone under. Arms reach out and wide, palms turn up. See if you can engage the core a little bit more. And then notice if your right knee is starting to turn in a little bit, just push it back out to the right side. On your next exhale, reach the right arm forward and then down. So coming onto your fingertips, your hand, a block, or onto the thigh with the forearm. And then left arm alongside your left ear. Keep lengthening the tailbone towards your left heel. On your next inhale, press into your legs, lift up. And then right arm is going to reach up and over to your reverse. Stretching through the right side of the torso. Keep both legs engaged. Keep squeezing the glutes on both sides. On your exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Inhale, extend the right leg up and back. And then bend your right knee, open your hips to the right side. See if you can keep your shoulders even.
Exhale to your down dog. Let's take a few breaths here in downward facing dog. You can always bend your knees as much as you need to find the stretch that feels good. Now let's bring the knees down to the ground. And we're gonna bring the knees as wide apart as we can. So we're coming into downward facing frog pose. What you wanna make sure of here is that your knees and your hips are aligned. So the hips aren't coming forward and they're not going back. Find that alignment. Doesn't matter how close to the ground your belly is. The most important thing is the alignment in the hips and the stretch in the inner thighs. If you're not feeling a stretch in your inner thighs at all, then you probably don't need to be doing this stretch. Come on out if you're not feeling it. Take one more breath. You can lift yourself up and out. We're going to take just one more stretch. If this isn't the stretch you want, feel free to mix it up and take what your body needs. We're going to come back to our Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet together, knees wide. Heels are going to be kind of a little ways out from your hips. And then we're going to round down or fold forward and find a stretch in the outer hips, low back, maybe in the upper back, neck, and shoulders. You might also feel this in the inner thighs. On your inhale, you can lift up and then lower down onto your back. Soles of feet together, knees wide, or legs extended, or any position that feels good. You might take this opportunity to think of one thing that you feel like you have to be an authority on. Maybe it's parenting or something to do with work, or as a mentor, or a position of authority in a relationship. And at least just for the next few minutes, let go of that need to know, that pressure to be right, and see if you can just relax into a state of seeking the right answer. Keep letting go if you can, little by little. Take one more breath. And then start to bring some movement into your wrists and your ankles. Take a nice long full body stretch. If you're able to stay laying for longer and you'd like to, feel free to do that. Otherwise, come up and find a seat. And I'll leave you with one last question before we close. If you're presented with two experts in their field, and one tells you, I have all of the answers, and the other one says, I have most of the answers, but I'm still learning some things. Which one do you trust? I know which one it is for me. Let's bring hands to heart, deep breath in. Full exhale out. Namaste. Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Let me know if you need anything, if you have any questions, if anything comes up. See you for stretching tomorrow.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.